Hi, good day, welcome back. It's our AI conversation slot. In terms of, we started out with understanding broader AI, right? When we started out. Um, and then on day two, we dived into machine learning. And then yesterday, we looked at, can we add intelligence to all machines, right? We answered that question. Um, and as part of it, we discussed the need for data and collection of data and the right kind of data. Um, okay, let's take a step back. In case you're joining us today for the first time, I am Afroz Hoodley. I am the founder and CEO of AL Syndicate. I've had an outstanding stint in the corporate world with Accenture, serving Fortune 500s. I've traveled the world, serving different companies, and then rolled out my own company. And this is towards the end of 2016, and as well as in 2016, I took up my first board position, making me one of the youngest board directors Australia has. And the journey has just moved and grown over the years. So why are we doing these live sessions, right? A lot of y'all have similar kind of questions, and you'll have been pinging me on WhatsApp, especially through COVID, as you're looking to reposition yourselves. So we thought you would benefit, getting these sessions, 20 minutes, you get to ask questions, 10 minutes, I give you artificial intelligence content, right? And that'll help you think about, hang on, how do we reposition? Can we leverage AI? Can we leverage IoT? Can we leverage how and or what can our drivers for innovation be? Okay, so that is the primary driver of these sessions. So today's topic, this is session 4, conversation 4. So today, let's understand, because yesterday we looked at the importance of data and collection of data and the right kind of data. Once you have collected the right kind of data, identified what kind of data you need to collect, the next step is data pre-processing. Now, this particular step takes almost 80% of your time and resources, okay? Predominantly because the quality of your data dictates the quality of your AI model, for which you need to keep in mind that when you go out, once you've identified what fields of data, what information you need to collect, when you reach out, whether it's set up a new process and or existing databases, the information comes to you in different formats and has been stored in different formats in the database, if it's already coming from a database, if you're extracting it from a database. So you need to cleanse your data, right? And in the artificial intelligence world, even the smallest outlier in your data can throw your model out of the window, okay? It has exponential impact on your model. So it's really important for you to pre-process your data, identify what your outliers are, and then you're ready to start building your model, okay? So what does pre-processing look like, or what are some of the things you should keep in mind while pre-processing your data? Simple things, missing values. You will have a lot of missing values when you go out to collect data. Think about if you're doing a survey, and if you have optional questions, you will get missing values in your survey, right? So you need to be able to either completely drop such data and or replace the missing values with average and or a statistical measure which is appropriate, maybe a median, right? Maybe an average, maybe the minimum value, maybe the maximum value, depending on what your vertical is, what your case is, what question you're trying to solve, okay? Other than that, you can have, if it's text-based input, you may end up having text that has words that are not part of the English dictionary. For instance, I tend to abbreviate have, H-A-V-E, as HV, and point, P-O-I-N-T, as PT. That's just how I use the language, right? And my teams understand, because that's how I use it on Twitter, that's how I use it on social platforms, and that has been integrated and become a habit now. But my teams understand that because they've been working with me, right? But the machine will not understand it, right? So you will need to be able to pick out all such possible nuances, right, which can throw your AI model out of the window. Because as far as AI is concerned, HV is garbage, right? PT is garbage. And when you convert it into a numeric value for the model, the models consume numeric values, integers. They don't understand string. So for it to be able to understand, you will need to create some kind of a mapping, right? But for which you will need to understand that this is part of your data to begin with, right? So you need to perform that analysis on your data. You need to invest that time to cleanse your data. If you're working with a computer vision problem, it's not just the images, but you need to have properly identified the objects you're trying to train your model on in your image, which means you will need either to outsource and or build an internal team to create what we call bounding boxes, which is nothing but a rectangular box. Let's say this is my face and you want to identify a froze and or human face. I put on the image, I put a bounding box around my face. So then when such images are fed to the model as part of training, the model then learns to recognize each face and the associated label with it. So if the label is a froze and or if the label is girl, the AI model will start recognizing that this face and or all faces, similar faces, are of females. All similar faces are of the female afros, right? So it's about investing that additional time and resource to get your data accurate. Because if the quality of your data is poor, it's garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so the accuracy of and the robustness, so accuracy and precision and the robustness of your model will be thrown out the window, for which you need to proactively invest in your data cleansing. Okay, the other things you can do, we just said, if you're, let's say you're collecting data from scratch, okay, which is rare, but in case that's where you are on your journey, you will need to put in proper processes so that the right format is what you capture your data in. Okay, and when you set up your surveys, make certain that you set it up in a way where you don't have optional fields. You have all compulsory fields, questions, and then you don't have blanks, right? Also, if it's an online survey, which is always the best way to go, but in case if that's not possible, if you're still working off paper-based surveys, you need to make certain that you guide the person taking the survey what is an acceptable input for this particular field. Okay, is it only text? Is it numeric, alphanumeric? All of that guidance needs to be provided. Okay, don't leave it for them to explore, because then you're going to get variety of formats, and then working with that wide variety will take additional time and resources. That's all that will happen. I mean, you can give your consumers, your customers, your clients that flexibility, but with that flexibility comes an associated cost for your resources, for your time, to cleanse your data. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're planning in terms of resources, in terms of the costs associated to your model. All right, on that note, I will wrap up today's session. We will catch you tomorrow again at 12:30 sharp, and we will continue these conversations onward. Please make certain that you start getting into the habit of coming here rather than sending me your questions on WhatsApp. It just adds more value to you, right? And the ability for you to ask questions on these sessions will help your business, right? And as it will help your business, it may be an eye-opener for another business as well, right? Hang on, we are not even thinking about this. Why are we not thinking about this? How can we leverage this, right? So let's help each other. That is the purpose of these conversations, and let's make certain that we go there. All right, have a great day ahead, and I will catch you all tomorrow again, 12:30 dot. Stay blessed. Take very good care of yourself.